Figure AI company has just released a live demo of its robot Figure 3, working in warehouses, sorting like almost packages. And the demo actually works for almost 12 hours. So it shows the robot working almost for continuous 8 hours, like sorting thousands of packages. Almost in average, they take 3 seconds only to sort like one package. So the video shows like an advancement in the human robot application in real world. And it shows like this kind of impressive technology can help a lot many of the companies like to do its works and in more efficient way and economical way. But on the other hand, it's raised a concern about its effect in the job market. So if the robot can maybe do this kind of job in a more like efficient way without like taking breaks or even taking a salary or asking for like any kind of benefit. So what is going to be the effect of the human in this case? Hello everyone, this is Ayman Omar. For a long time, there have been a lot of research and studies about the effect that it will happen of the rise because due to the rise of advanced technologies like such as automation, robots, and now actually AI. So it has been like a threat for the job market. So in case like as maybe many predictions says like if the robots and AI technology can take most of the job and maybe it will cause a large huge unemployment in the society. So actually this will affect the economy. And like also like what's going to be the solution that have been proposed to solve such kind of problem to the economical and the society. I try to explain it in a very simple way. Actually, for me, I'm not an economist, but I try to understand how the economy works. So I will try to explain it in a very simple way, how actually the robot and AI system will affect the job market and how it will have an impact into the economy as a whole, and what is the solution for such kind of problem. This is how the economy will work. First, you have the all the companies and businesses in the economy, and we have the citizen on the other hand. So the citizens will work on those companies and on those businesses, and they will get a salary in return. So the citizen use this money back, recycle into the system to buy the goods and services from those businesses. So this is actually how the economy works. Actually, the money flow in between businesses and citizens in exchange of work and goods and services. And in the middle, we have the government, which will organize everything based on the taxes that will collect from both citizens and the businesses. So of course, it will be different from country to country. Some countries, like maybe they have more government control over the businesses in that countries, like most of the people that just work for the government instead of the private sector. But in general, this is like how most of the countries in the world works right now. So people will just only have to work and get the salary, and they use the money that they get from their work to buy the goods and services. Now, with the rise of new artificial technology system, so companies they don't like rely on workers anymore. They just now rely on those kind of robots and artificial intelligence system. So in that case, it means the citizen will not receive like wages anymore, which in case will result that they don't have money to give it back into into the economic system. And of course, like since like they cannot like have like enough income to buy like the goods and services, means the companies and the businesses they cannot like exchange their goods and services to the citizen in exchange of money. So in that case, the whole economy will just collapse because like if the the, like all the wealth will not be circulated between businesses and citizens. It means there is no way like to exchange the goods and services from the businesses to those citizens. So what's going to happen in this case? In this case, the government will just interfere and take more taxes from those businesses and redirect the flow back to the citizen in terms of like a monthly salary for all citizens. This will be like an equal pay to all individuals, regardless of their like qualification, like or age or like situation. Everyone will just get an equal pay from the government, and the citizen will just use that money back into the economy to buy the goods and services. So those kind of payment from the government is called the universal basic income, or UBI for short. And this one is how actually we can solve the problem of the rising use of artificial intelligence, which will affect the job market and make sure that the economy will be running again. The universal basic income has been proposed as a solution for to increase equality in the society and provide and like has been given a solution as a safety net for the negative effect due to the implementation of AI technology and automation system into the job market. So it could be maybe some kind of a solution. Like everyone now will feel secure because like now instead of worrying about how to maybe live with the rise in unemployment to rely on the AI technology. But on the other hand, there is a lot of critics about the use of universal basic income. Most of the critics they say it could be very expensive because the only way that government can give salary incomes for like the monthly salary for every citizens, it actually will be take more taxes from the businesses. So this maybe will lead to, as many people expect, that it will lead to high inflation because if the companies they have to pay more taxes to the government, it means like they will just going to increase the prices of their goods and services, and this will lead more to huge maybe inflation into the economy. And also there was a lot of expectation that actually it will have a negative impact into society because it will affect maybe what is the meaning of job, because for many people if they feel that they don't have to work, maybe the meaning of the work itself it will change. So maybe people now they don't have to work, so they will spend most of their time maybe in doing unuseful work or unuseful things, so people will not be productive anymore. But on the other hand, of course, like the people who are supporting the idea of universal basic income, they will say, okay, people will do more meaning work than just doing work for exploitation, because many people they believe that the economic system actually exploiting people. They just have to work for doing money, and also the companies now they are trying to get more benefit with much less uh, maybe wages. And in a way, people say even they describe it as a slavery for the low income work labor. Like people have to work very hard in very tough condition, and at the end they just get even very low salaries that even does not cover their own like needs. So how actually this kind of universal basic income could be implemented? Actually, some countries they already have made some trial experiment, such as Finland, Canada, also like Kenya. There are a lot of experiment about have done to test the use of universal basic income. So actually, Finland have done experiment almost for just 2 or 3 years. That for a number of selected citizens, they give them like monthly salary with no condition. Even Kenya have very long experiment for years. Yeah, they have been using like making the experiment in some villages. They give like monthly salary for the citizen, and they see how actually they can use this money and how they affect the society. But actually, because those experiments are not done in a large scale and is for a very limited time, and people are very selective, it's very hard to get concrete conclusion about the effect of this kind of experiment. Because actually, when you select just a few number of people for, you said you're going to give them some kind of salary for maybe 2 or 3 years, so they will maybe try to use their time just to try to look for new job, develop their skills, maybe try to start their own business during this time. And after that, they know that after the experiment will end, they have to go back to their own job or maybe start their own business. But practically, like if we try to say that, to raise the question is it really like job will disappear? According to many studies, they say actually jobs does not actually, the need of job actually will not disappear. Actually, what AI actually will do, it will take uh, some kind of the jobs that is not like rely on human skills. So mostly jobs that rely more on human skills like leadership, critical thinking, emotional intelligence. The AI actually cannot do this kind of job, and the jobs that require this kind of skills will still like need human. So in a case like when we like, use this kind of advanced technology, of course, like new jobs will be appear, and this is not something new. It happened in the past when with the rise of like advanced technology like computers in the past, also robots in the 60s and 70s, and automation system also at that time. It actually created more jobs and eliminated some jobs. So people say, okay, maybe jobs will be, they will be like new jobs. According to one studies, like there's prediction about like 70 million jobs will disappear, but actually 130 million new jobs will appear. So I think for many people think, okay, we don't maybe need this kind of universal basic income as a solution, because since new jobs will be appear, then maybe we don't need like this kind of system. But actually, there is very important things. When the jobs actually will appear, so most of the time actually it takes time before like the new jobs will appear. So there's actually like some kind of a time gap between the elimination of the old job and the appearance of the new job. In the past, actually, like these things takes many years, so it happens through a generation. So and this happened like the most example like that we can refer to is move from the agriculture job to the industrial job. This happened during like the people who are actually working as farmers. Their children and their sons actually they went to higher education, and they moved to the city and they start working in the service sector and the industrial sector. But currently now, because the advancement and development is going very fast, these things sometimes have to be happen in a few years. So jobs will be eliminated suddenly for people sometimes in the middle ages, in the 40s and 50s, and they have to maybe move to a new job. So sometimes they have to wait until like these jobs will appear. And on the other hand, also like these new jobs require different type of skills. So the people actually they cannot just simply jump from one like industry to another industry, or from a different type of job to a new type of job all of a sudden. Actually, they need to develop their skills. And here I want to point out actually sometimes we need like up skills and reskills. Up skills, it happens in a case that like your old skills is still relevant, but you need to maybe learn new skills so you can adapt to the change in the job market. This could be done through maybe small training, some kind of short like studies time. So you can acquire new skills and you can move to maybe adapt to the new type of job appearing in the market. But sometimes in some cases your job or maybe your like career path does not develop anymore, and in that case you maybe you have to move to a new path, new type of industry, which means like you have to learn all the skills from the beginning. This is like a real skills, which actually it's very complex and takes a huge time, huge benefits. It's something like maybe you spent 20 years working in a certain industry. Now you have to maybe go back again to the university, study like a new things and maybe acquire like new type of skills so you can go back to the job market again. So this kind of time waiting, either like to wait for the new jobs appear or maybe spend some time to develop your skills, is very hard actually for people maybe to live if they don't have sustainable income. And this maybe could be the benefit if you have some sort of this kind of universal basic income, or maybe like financial support from the government. So people during this time, they can use the time to develop their skills until they go back again to the industry and have like new jobs. So maybe we need some kind of governmental support in a similar way for a short time. It's not like what many people they think. Okay, it has to be some kind of a permanent payment until you die. No, it should be something like maybe temporary to help people at least maybe use this time to learn something new and maybe adapt to the change in the job market. So, and also like one things maybe we have to point out actually, like most of the jobs sometimes it does not appear in the same country. It could happen in another country, and now with the use of internet, actually like the jobs actually could move overseas. So in that case, if the government in one country they want to maybe acquire, like they want to take more taxes from the companies, actually they maybe took the job using the AI system. Actually, maybe they cannot take the tax because those companies actually in other countries. So this could be maybe some challenges for some countries if they lost the jobs and the jobs move overseas. So they cannot like apply this kind of a system. But I think it's very important. Maybe we need to think of a way of to support the maybe the transition period where people actually they need to adapt to new jobs, and this requires actually the cooperation of countries, government, and also the companies. Actually, the companies sometimes they need to help to maybe help like those people to acquire like this kind of new skills by provide them training and education until like they could acquire new type of jobs, and also they have to find a way to make the entry of a new job much easier and not like in a complex way. So I think we still like this idea is still debatable, and we need maybe to think about a way to support the development of the labor and also get the benefit of this advanced new technology. I hope you benefit from today's talk. Until I see you again, thank you for watching.